Hey, so I just want to talk about this paper that I'm writing for my Rhetoric Traditions class. I'm going to title the paper The Rhetoric of Extreme Metal, and pretty much what I'm trying to accomplish with writing this paper is to identify the means of persuasion and influence that metal music has on the metal culture. And by doing this, because it is for my Rhetoric Traditions class, I'm going to be really, what's the word? I guess really enhancing these means of persuasion by reciting back to philosophers from all eras, classical philosophers like Aristotle, Gorgias, medieval philosophers, Augustine, which is really weird because Augustine is extremely pious. But I mean, I'm still a huge fan of his anyway. But who else? Nietzsche, obviously, he wrote a lot about music and his philosophy. Michel Foucault would probably be the most prevalent because in the Order of Discourse, he identified a lot of the ways in which society controls the masses by means of media, and that's a lot of emphasis, especially with the lyrical themes in metal, and pretty much how the metal scene breaks away from that. So that will be very prevalent in there, and I mean, there's more, but I don't really feel like I need to explain that, in this video. What I want to explain, though, is I need input from other metal fans. And the reason why is because in my paper, which I feel like a lot of metal documentaries and metal books really lacked, is a lot of emphasis on the words of the fans, because that is by far the most important, especially since I'm putting a lot of focus on the metal culture, and really just getting down into the meaning behind, beyond even the meaning behind metal, just why it influenced hundreds of thousands of people from all around the world. And all of this, and we'll be effectively comparing it to society and history, and just, I mean, I only started working on a fraction of this in class already, and it's actually kind of cool. Yesterday in class, I played no, not Morbid Angel, I was going to play Morbid Angel, but I played Cannibal Corpse and Deicide for the class. I scared some people, which is awesome. I personally get a serious kick out of that, but, so yeah, I mean, I would especially love to hear from musicians, because I'm not a musician, and whenever I talk to a lot of metal fans, especially from musicians, they always talk about the playing style of metal, no matter what you play, and the fact that it really attracts them because it challenges them. And I'm not sure if that is parallel to the appealing nature of playing metal from all musicians, or if that is maybe a common attraction, but there's a lot more depth to it. But either way, I mean, I would like to hear from that aspect especially, but I mean, this is open to all metal fans, whether you work in the music industry, like me, if you're a journalist, if you're a promoter, or if you are just a metal fan and it's really the thing that gets you going every single day, or I would especially also like to hear from touring musicians, just because touring is a huge sacrifice that an individual is willing to make. Sometimes I'm not sure if other metal fans really realize this, but just pretty much what it is that makes you, I guess, sacrifice spending time with your family, your friends, and traveling the world, playing for metal fans everywhere, and like, that whole aspect out of it, because that has always blown my mind about musicians and touring bands and that whole, like, so that, and I'm wondering if I'm missing anything else. I guess the only other thing I'm thinking about is the fact that I would love to turn this into a book or a documentary, because when I was sharing my ideas for this in class, several, especially non-metal fans in that class, because there are a couple of other metal fans in that class, but especially the people who aren't metal fans, and said, you know, I'd really like you to go beyond what we're doing in class. And I mean, this is going to be a 14-page paper. Like, that is the minimum requirement for that class. So this paper in itself is going to be pretty hefty, but the fact that my colleagues were wanting me to really get more into this and to expand more, I mean, I would love to, because, like, I've watched all the big documentaries, like, Heavy, the Story of Metal, or whatever that one is called that Sam Dunn did, and all of those. I know there's a black metal book coming out. I haven't read it. I don't even think it's out yet, but, or, I mean, I guess from the documentaries that I've seen, I don't really, like I said before, I don't really feel like they went into the, if not the culture, that they really just dug down in there and just pulled out, like, everything that metal encompasses and how it inspires just, I don't know. I mean, it could, and maybe I haven't seen it, I don't know, but that's just kind of the ultimate goal that I'm trying to do with this. And I mean, it is the rhetoric of extreme metal, and the reason why it's extreme metal and not, like, power metal, or not, like, I don't know, whatever other metal subgenres I'm missing, because, and I'm also, like, when I say extreme metal, I mean, obviously that's a very broad term, but, I mean, I'm pretty much focusing on death metal, black metal, and thrash metal, because those are really the main subgenres of metal that I'm familiar with, and even then, I'm not going too into, like, the subgenres, like, I identify them, like, technical death metal and melodic death metal, like, these bands started it, these bands continued it is prevalent in this country, and this region, and however, I mean, I only started with melodic death metal, technical death metal, and deathcore. I haven't even started with thrash, not even black metal yet. I haven't even mentioned those. Right now, the paper is called The Rhetoric of Death Metal, because I'm a death metal fan, so whatever. But anyway, and where the hell, you know what, this is what I hate about doing these fucking blogs. When I'm writing, it is so much easier for me to be organized with everything. In blogs, I just fucking talk. And I lose my train of thought, so. What the fuck? Oh, yes, I remember. Okay, so if I expand on this in a book or in a documentary, and you feel like I should go into more metal subgenres, like power metal and stuff, then by all means I will, because obviously these, I mean, we're almost talking about I don't want to say two different, well, pretty much two different genres of music, comparing power metal to, like, death metal. They were completely different. And I'm like I said before, I'm more familiar with death metal and other subgenres of extreme metal, but if any power metal fans who just so happen to come across this video want to educate me on the history, I mean, well, I can look up the genealogy of power metal, but I guess how it influences you and what is appealing to, about, like, how it appeals to you, then by all means, you know. And so one of my Facebook friends also like brought this up, is the, like, society of different cultures, and not different cultures, of different countries, because like I mentioned before with Foucault and Order of Discourse and like the masses of society and controlling and all that stuff, that's always going to be in there, but I definitely think that honing more into individual countries, especially, like, I'm probably going to go into, I think the band is called Shibari. It's that one Iraqi death metal band, the band that Borgor was in before he started his whole dubstep thing, and I mean, just because that's so powerful, with all the violence that happens in that country, and that metal is really what is their escape from that. And so I think that would be a really good, that would be really good to mention in my paper. But if any European metal fans, if any other Middle Eastern metal fans, or Eastern metal fans, just because I know that influence is also very prevalent in those areas, then by all means, please, just tell me every single aspect of why you just love metal, and beyond the music, anything about the culture, because, I mean, me personally, one of the main reasons why I really got into metal was going to metal shows, because, and I mean, I'm not going to turn this into a sob story, but, I was kind of like a social outcast, and metal allowed me to find people to connect with, and to really give me a place of, I mean, I guess a place of belonging. So, yeah, that's my whole spiel. But if there is, something in particular that you want, of metal that you want to be, that you want included in my paper, then that will hopefully turn into a book or a documentary, then just anything you can think of. As far as talking to me, I'm going to include a link to my fan page, and you could just message me there, or you could comment. I mean, I know that there is a character limitation for YouTube comments, but if your response can fit that, then by all means, of course, post it on YouTube comment. But if you really wanna, write a big thing about it, then I will also include a link to my fan page, so you can message me there. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot. I don't think so. I have a feeling I'm gonna stop this video and there'll be something, and I'm like, ah, shit, I forgot to fucking say that. But I don't know. I mean, worst comes to worst, I can just include it in the comments after. I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. So, yep, like I said, just send me your responses, and overall what you want to see in my paper, and then my link to my fan page, just message me on there, or comment on the YouTube, whatever. And overall, please spread this message. Please, because, like I said before, metal fans are the ones who matter the most, and to me, for this paper, and, anybody you can think of to put their word in this, then please, by all means, do. Just because I really want an accumulation of just everybody's thoughts and opinions on this. So, yeah. So, if you help me with this paper/book/documentary, then thank you so much. I appreciate it more than anything. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah.